I think I'm on air. Hey, hi, everybody. I'm Ninon from Vegas Live with Ninon. And of course, we're in Las Vegas. We're at the Mariposa. This is an incredible restaurant. It's a Mexican restaurant. It's a Mexican cuisine, which means it's kind of, the food is really exotic and absolutely fabulous. Now, you probably recognize the two people next to me. They are on my show many, many times because they are doing many, many things. And of course, we have Sally Olson, and we have Ned Mills. And of course, they are the Carpenters. And absolutely amazing. How are you both?
Very good. How are you?
Good,
I'm doing great, but I'm seeing your name all over the place. I'm seeing this is up here and that's up here, and then they have these big write-ups and everything. What happened? Because we just went through this pandemic where it was hard to get back out there.
Yeah.
Very hard. But you have not, it has not been hard for you.
Well,
what I'm reading.
Yeah, we kept really busy during the pandemic, even though we weren't performing on a regular basis like we were used to doing.
No.
We were working on the show. We wrote our Christmas show. We did a bunch of interviews.
So you did a lot of stuff at home, because that's where we were all supposed to be.
We kept the momentum going, so that when it
came out of it, so you were prepared and you had things booked up periodically. And everything.
We had a lot of shows postponed, just like Maniacs did, and we were also, Sally is kind of our marketing director, if you will, and she's been very aggressive.
Everywhere. I mean, you're on Instagram, you're everywhere, which is. But isn't that the key to being out there and for people to know who you are and what you are? Is that the key?
The social media?
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's a huge part. Honestly, I probably wouldn't be in Vegas today if it wasn't for the connections I made on Facebook years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
So you started it from,
and
where was that? Where were you at?
I was in Vermont.
You were in Vermont. Wow. There's not really much entertainment there, is there?
Yeah, there's a little bit, but as a tribute artist, I had exhausted those resources and I knew I needed to look elsewhere.
So were you doing the same thing in Vermont?
Yes.
You were?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Now, you weren't with her in Vermont, were you?
No. I've been in Vegas for 22 years.
22 years. So you're well established here.
Yeah.
As a single artist, as well as doing the Carpenters now.
Yeah, as a music conductor, arranger, composer.
Yeah, because I've seen a couple of your things where you've been playing and different things happening, and then you also go on your own, don't you?
Well, I mean, prior to us meeting, I did, but now my thing is I do the Carpenters, and that's it.
Full-time job.
So when I'm on my own,
it's just a full-time job, because it is a full-time job.
Yeah.
It is. So do you change every time you go, you do a performance, do you change any of the songs, or do you keep it the same songs, or do you change it up a lot?
It's pretty much the same show. It's a set list.
Yeah, it's a recreation of the Carpenters' 1976 UK tour. So we can't deviate too much.
So you don't want to deviate?
Once in a while, we might have a venue says, can you add an intermission? Can you cut the intermission? Can the show be a little shorter, a little longer? And so we could do some tweaking, but we want to keep the spirit.
But you want to keep the same songs coming out. Because I was often thinking there was a lot of songs out there that you had, and that were amazing that we don't hear anymore. But they were sort of. But obviously, you're keeping up with the tour thing.
Yeah.
So do you have a manager? How does this work?
We're non-exclusive. We did have someone that did some managing for us, but we pretty much have a network of agents, and some of the stuff we do on our own. Yeah. We're very visible on the internet, so a lot of people find us. They'll type in, hey, we would like a tribute to the Carpenters. They type it in. We're the first one that pops up, and they give us a call.
Absolutely, that must be amazing. So what have you got coming up, or what did you just do? Because they're so busy. I mean, I can't even keep up with them.
Yeah, we've had a really busy last 2 or 3 months, actually. We were in Florida twice.
In Florida.
Northern California.
Right.
We had some shows here.
We sold out on Super Bowl Sunday. We were honored to sell out a theater in Northern California.
The Harris Center.
Oh my God, see how they are. It's amazing that you got sold out. You must have been so excited. Being sold out, but how many seats were there? There must be a lot of seats.
850.
850.
Yeah, we just sold out 3 shows in Dallas.
Right, we just got back from Texas a few days ago. So.
Sold that
see
out.
What I mean?
So,
But there's only one way they do it. You know how they do it? Because they keep at it. They keep working it. They keep doing it. They keep putting themselves out there. I go to Instagram to check what I'm doing, and I see all what you're doing. And I see all these different things coming up and everything. And I think that's definitely the way it should be. When you're playing to 850 people, that's an awful lot of people. Do you get nervous?
I don't get nervous anymore. Like
Not
several
really
years
used
ago,
Not the musical
With
part. It's more of the stress of if we're short on time getting ready, we're going into a new venue, or sometimes we'll hire musicians locally. And then we have brand new musicians. And learning the music.
Did they looked at the book?
And we've been very blessed with a lot of talent working with us too. So.
I think that's because of the respect they have for the two of you, because you two are very much into business. This is a business for you. This is what you do.
Musically, it's a challenging show. It really is for these people. We send the music. In fact, today, I just hired some musicians to work our show in Downey, California. We're renting that.
Isn't that where the Carpenters used to be?
It is, and that's why we're playing.
Oh, you got
Downey.
to be really good.
So we send the music.
Got to be top on.
So we send the music a month early and say you better check this out and practice because it's going to be.
Any of them in there that played for them or was with them that you could get into the band? Or is it too old or too...
They're all
fortunately,
age now.
And many of, we're talking about the original Carpenters band members. Yes, many of them unfortunately passed away.
Yeah, because I was going to say they'd be awfully old now.
Yeah. Cubby O'Brien, he's a drummer, he was a Musketeer. He's still around and doing very well, but he's busy. He tours with Bernadette Peters. But we did have the opportunity to meet him a few years ago.
But we are in touch with a lot of people who worked with the Carpenters and knew them. Michael Lansing, Karen's personal assistant, is a big fan of ours.
Oh, how wonderful.
And
what do they say about you, sort of bringing it back again? Do they?
They're very kind. They're very
honored, they should be.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, we're
keeping on the legacy.
We're very blessed that we're probably one of the only Carpenters tributes that perform in character as
in
Karen
America.
And Richard.
Yeah.
And with a Richard.
Yeah.
Most of them were just Karen.
We do the dialogue, the costumes, everything. We try to make it as
authentic as possible. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But that takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, and a lot of studying. You have to study to see what they did, how did they move, how did they play, and you want to try to get it as close as possible. But at the same time, don't you want your personalities out there as well?
Yeah.
Some degree. Although we have
Ned more so.
I tend to deviate.
He ad-libs a bit.
We also have an opening act baked into it. That I'm also a trumpet player, and a lot of people realize that Herb Alpert was the one who gave the Carpenters a big break from A&M Records. So I do a tribute to Herb Alpert in the Tijuana Brass, and that's my opportunity to kind of
do your thing,
and work with the audience.
Whereas you've always played, the part, haven't you? You've never really sung as of your own name, Sally Olson.
I mean, prior to putting together this tribute to the Carpenters, and so that would have been anytime before 2014. That's when this started coming together. But I did perform on my own, but I wasn't performing quite at the level as I am now. So I've never. Once I became visible, I was.
How would you suggest when other people are out there and they're also doing the same thing? What message would you give them to help them be as how you are, how you get so much work and people respect you as the Carpenters? How do they do that out there? Do they
hustle?
Hustle. There
work.
You go.
Don't wait for the phone to ring. Go after it. And I will be the first to admit that the driving force with us is definitely Sally. She's always pushing me harder. When are we going to do this?
Typical woman.
Or we'll look at the calendar. Hey, we got a big hole to fill. Let's do something about it.
Let's fill this hole. So when you decide, you look at this and you see, I've got all these different, you've got all these events that are booked for and everything. Yeah. It seems that you have quite large events. They're not small events. They're quite large.
We do a little bit of both. And this weekend, we're doing a small show at the Sanders Family Winery in Pahrump.
The winery there. Yeah.
That'll be our fourth or fifth
time, and it's fun. It's intimate, And we like to do that. It'll just be me and her without the band.
Without the band, and you can do that.
We do actually. We've been doing that.
We did that in Texas for a sold-out crowd. So it depends on. Sometimes
it's still
the client,
the same show, though.
Still the same show.
Exact same show.
Yeah.
Exactly
and now if Sally does the drum feature, and brings her toys with her.
You play the drums. That's right. I forgot about that part.
I mean, Karen Carpenter.
Come on,
she was a drummer before she was a singer.
Yes, that was one of her main things. I was thinking of her as out there singing, but yes.
Yeah.
Is that hard? Well, it can't be hard because you're doing it.
Well, had I known
how hard can it be?
If I knew that I was going to be doing this tribute to the Carpenters when I was a kid, I would have played the drums instead of the flute and the piano. But you don't know. So I had some catching up to do, and I started learning the drums about 5 years ago.
Do you have a natural ability to play the drum? You must have a natural.
I think.
Well, you do now, anyway.
Well, Ned could.
Well, I think the most important thing, too, is that when she plays it, it's very entertaining. It's fun to watch her play. We take a little bit of license in the drum feature. I'm the arranger of the show, so I put the technical details of the music together. And I said one of the most entertaining drum features ever was Gene Krupa playing Sing, Sing, Sing on the, some people call it the jungle drums of Fort Tom.
Yeah.
And we incorporate that into the show just because it's just so energetic. And she stands up and gets the crowd to applaud.
And the drum feature starts off the same way that the Carpenters would do it. And then
we take this little
we have been doing it for about a year, and then we changed it up. So the second half is the Gene Krupa.
So you started this and it worked.
Yeah, and the crowd loves it. It really
now
gets them
I'm finding out the two parts they play. You are kind of the director. You kind of put the whole thing together.
Music director,
you do the
tour
music
manager, and she's the advertising.
And you do all the advertising,
the artistic end too,
graphic
like
design.
the costumes, the
you do all
website,
the costumes
social media.
So this keeps you pretty busy.
Oh yeah,
obviously
non-stop.
Non-stop. Is it worthwhile as of, you have to have an income coming in, so obviously this now, because you're back out there again before you won, is it feasible and is it paying off to do that? Because I know sometimes...
It is every year it's
going up.
Yeah, it is, but just like any business, it takes a while. It takes years. It takes a lot of investing into the business before you start getting.
So you have to do other jobs to do this
for it to pay off.
But you're now doing it full time, right?
Yeah, and we're also on a very fast learning curve. Every time we do a show, we get back, we get in a huddle. What can we do to make this more efficient? What can we do to make this better? Everything from how many bags. We weigh every suitcase before we go out the door. A lot of times we travel by air.
Yes, of course.
And everything, it's not only artistic, but it has to be cost effective.
I was going to say, that's what I was getting to, because I know in the entertainment business it's very difficult, especially, I think it's getting better now, but with the pandemic and the whole thing going on, people weren't paying people, and I don't know, Vegas has a way of not paying people, and I don't quite understand that, and if they do pay them, they don't pay them very much, and I often wonder how they get on.
And in a lot of situations, we'll find that the best option is for us to just we'll rent the theater ourselves. We'll financially back it ourselves. It's a huge risk.
That is, that's that 4-wall, 3-wall and thing, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
But the reward is that much bigger.
Yes. But you've got to take that risk to make sure you've got your audience coming in.
But the more we do it, though, the Carpenters name sells tickets.
It does,
And we get that out there, and the existence of social media targeted advertising helps out tremendously for those sort of, and we're still learning that type of
You're still learning how to get it out there and how to understand. And are you able to get hold of their group? Because, their group obviously is older now, but then they had children, so they would be, coming.
That's our main audience.
That is your main audience to get the Carpenters.
We do this little joke in the show where we do, Sally sing a song, la 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 la. Okay, let's hear all the men. Now let's hear all the women. Then I'll joke. Okay, all the women under age 40. You can do a pin drop.
Well, sometimes we'll get a bunch of people singing, but we're like, I don't think you're telling the truth. But
but that's our main audience, and everyone out there. There's so many people tell us after the show the most common adjective or description we hear is emotion. Oh, that song reminds me from our wedding.
Oh, well, my first kiss, or my first date, or my first dance.
We still get choked up. I still get goosebumps when
Yeah.
she sings "We've Only Just Begun." You know.
Yeah. Well, you have.
It's really,
Life is beginning. Every single minute of life, you're only beginning.
really
Every
touching.
second is a beginning.
Yeah.
Because that's gone. This morning's gone. Sometimes we like them to be gone.
And it's the same
Gone.
when we make mistakes, like anyone else. We'll
We
do
all
a
make
show and say, well, you know what? What can we do to make this better? Or maybe we didn't negotiate something the way we could
Should
have
have
done.
done. Or could
You
have
know,
done.
and
you're
so
learning.
we're on a very fast
So
track
you're
right
learning
now.
all about the business side of it as well, which is probably better because a lot of managers that actually take care of you
Mhm.
or look after you usually look after themselves first.
Exactly.
And you get sort of what's ever left over,
Yeah.
and then you ask for a rundown, and the rundown they give you is actually what it should be. But
Yeah.
at the same time, they could have cut corners or done things, but that's what managers
We're
do.
a
You
lot
learn.
better at counting beans than we used to be.
Yes,
Just
well,
from learning
You know,
from
I
our
always think
mistakes.
that we have to look after our own money. If we're going to get somebody else to look after our own money, then I don't know why we have any money. We shouldn't have it in the first place if we can't look after it.
Yeah.
I mean, when you think about it, you know, you learn, and like you do, you learn how to sort of get these acts together, to get out there, to get all the different bookings, the
Yeah.
performances, and what to charge
Yeah.
and what not to charge.
Yeah.
Is there a different price ticket in any state you go to? I'm sure some states you can charge a higher price than other states, can you?
It does vary.
Depends on the audience.
We have a sweet spot of our market. We do have to keep in mind, obviously, there's a lot of retired people who
Yes,
come
that
to our
live on
show.
a budget.
You know, we're not going to ask, $500 per, it's not that type of
No,
thing.
no,
And
no.
a lot of times,
It also depends on the type of venue. If it's a performing arts center, those ticket prices tend to be higher.
Yes.
And most of the time, the ticket prices are determined by the venue.
and a lot of times, what are the other acts charging for their shows? We have to be in line.
So you're
with
being
that.
in line with them.
Yeah.
The reason I'm asking all these questions is for all my audience out there, for the people that are coming along that really don't know the business, or they're trying to get into the business, or they're not understanding the business. At the same time, my show is also to keep them up about where they're going and what they're doing. So next question is, where are you performing? What have you got coming up?
Well, we talked about the winery already.
So you've got the
So
winery.
this Saturday.
That's this Saturday, the winery in Pureza. Okay.
And then on
Friday,
May 13th, tickets will be available to the general public the Friday before. What's that? The 7th?
7th or something. Yes.
Yeah, at the Freedom Hall and Anthem, Sun City
Oh,
Anthem.
Freedom Hall and Anthem.
Yeah.
That must be always sold out.
It's almost sold out now.
it's about 300 seats.
It is almost sold
I
out.
checked
also.
last night. There's about 70 seats left. So
Yeah. So
hopefully there'll still be some seats left once they open it up to the general public.
but do us a favor,
But-
if you're not a resident, wait till the week before, because otherwise you won't be able to get your ticket. So
You can't
just
get
wait till the week
tickets.
before if you don't live in
the area.
area.
Also, they're
It'll
giving
be
the
open to the-
opportunity. The people that live in Anthem gets the first tickets.
Correct.
Yes.
And then everybody else a week before.
Then after that, the week before.
Right, please don't call before that. They don't.
Because you won't get a ticket,
Yeah.
and they're already nearly sold out anyway.
Well, another 50, 60 tickets.
70
left.
seats left.
70
That's
seats.
that's not much out of 300.
Oh, then in Downey, our big show, we're renting that.
On May
That's
21st.
May 21st
Oh, that's
with the
May
Carpenters.
21st. That's the Carpenters
That's
City,
700.
Downey.
Home of the Carpenters. It's
700.
740 something seats.
We've sold over 500, and you can buy your
You
tickets.
sold almost 500 there, and they can go online. Okay, now where can they go to buy tickets?
You should go to our website, which is carpenterslegacy.com, and then go right to our tour page, and you'll see everything.
And you'll see all of
Coming up.
that.
Mhm.
Well, that's simple.
And more dates to be added soon, and I know that we'll be adding more local Vegas dates
And
soon, too.
this is what you do.
Mhm.
This is what Sally does. Sally puts all this together, and he puts all the band and everything together.
And our Christmas show as well. in
Of course, we didn't talk
Texas.
about Christmas already. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness, that's right. We just
I
had
know
Easter,
it's
didn't we?
April, but
Yeah, that, we
Doesn't
already have
matter.
that booked. Yeah.
Right.
You already have that book. Now, do I remember that you always go away? You do a solo show.
well, for 2 holiday seasons since I've moved to Vegas, I've been performing with Legends in Concert. I did Myrtle
Yes.
Beach in 2019, and then this past holiday season, I was at their newer theater called Owa Theater in Foley, Alabama. But this year we're going to be doing our Christmas show, because the issue with the holiday season is it's very short, and
Yeah, it's just
we want to do
and
our
you wanna
show
do
this
your
year.
show-
so.
Yeah, you want to do your show together.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great idea because you are, they are together. They are the Carpenters. The new Carpenters, absolutely amazing. Thank you for watching Vegas Live with Ninon. They've been absolutely amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
But it's only hard work that has got them where they are. So remember, all you performers out there, if you want work, you've got to go out there and get it. Thank you for watching Vegas Live with Ninon. Don't forget to go to YouTube and subscribe and join and do all the above. Whatever's on there you have to do or don't have to do. Thank you for watching. We'll be right back with our next guest. Take care.
Talking to myself and feeling old. Sometimes I'd like to quit. Nothing ever seems to fit. Just like me, they long to be close to you.
Only yesterday. Don't you remember you told me you loved me, baby? You said you'd be coming back this way again, baby.